Cześć wszystkim, ja jestem Arkaz i witam was serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku z serii Zagrajmy w Alan Wake 2. I kontynuujemy sobie naszą podróż przez metro, a tutaj mamy... No to tak nie zadziała. Tutaj mamy... A, moment. Moment. Nie, dobra, myślałem, że mogę gdzieś światełko dać. Ruszamy dalej przez metro, bo... musimy się dostać... Właściwie to tu się musimy dostać, wydaje mi się. Tak, tylko... mamy mapę. Ja sam nie do końca już wiem, gdzie ja mam się dostać. Scena zawalony tunel. O, tu mam się dostać. Czyli dobrze idę? Wydaje mi się, że dobrze idę. Bo przez wagonik, z tego co pamiętam. Alright. O, tutaj kolejny znajdź Alice. Ha, dokładnie. I teraz... jak mamy tu... tu podobno możemy zmienić scenę na... rytuał przyzwania. O, właśnie. O. A, to ty uciekaj, no. Gdzieś tam widziałem pomieszczenie ze światłem. I pewnie tam byśmy się chcieli dostać, co? Dawaj. O kurde, zamknął mi drzwi. Dawaj. F. No śmigaj. Alan. Do światła. Dobra, poszedł se. Ja wykorzystam ręczny zapis w takim razie. Szybki zapis. No, już nie ma wagonika. Dobra, no to śmigamy. I tam się mieliśmy dostać. O, jest z powrotem. Ale teraz za nami, a nie przed nami, więc dawaj w tunel. Dawaj, Alan. Dawaj. Szybko. Okej, udało się. Superancko. O! Ciekawe miejsce. Jeszcze bardziej ciekawe, co znajdziemy na końcu. Skoro się... O! Okej. Czy to jest... no właśnie... Nightingale? Czy to nam się przebija tak, jak Sadze się przebijało miasto?
Something had shifted. I felt an overwhelming closeness to home.
O, jest Saga.
An FBI agent? Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI.
A, my mieliśmy taką rozmowę, jak graliśmy Sagą.
The dark place. Under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake. Who are you?
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The dark presence. Help me. Please, help me. I could sense it. I was closer to home. Had the woman in the vision helped me somehow? Something had changed. Outside. Parliament Tower. Where I had lived with Alice. It was out there. Waiting for me.
Okej. O! Jak mam się dostać do Parliament Tower? O, tu mamy jakieś przejście. Spróbujmy. Zatem.
Felt it. Stepping to the murder site,
Oh.
I'd felt it hanging in the air. A meaning. The violent emotion of the act. Like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see. And yet, making you aware of it. Something had soaked into this place on a molecular level. Overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget. Marking you. Taking you for a ride. Making you crazier.
To brzmi faktycznie jak Max Payne. Takie to wszystko mroczne, nic nie jest powiedziane wprost. Czemu to nie działa? O, działa. Słaba broni. Dobra, dajmy sobie tu. Jak mam się stąd wydostać? No po prostu tędy.
The station had changed. I was closer now.
I'm a writer. I write. Writing is the key. Art.
Dobra, śmigamy na górę. Tędy wchodziliśmy, prawda? O, jest budynek.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment?
No myślę, że nie. Myślę, że to by było zbyt proste, Alan.
Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
The writer.
Oh.
Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Okej. No tak, oczywiście. Sama winda przyjechała. Zaufajmy. Zobaczmy, co na nas czeka w mieszkaniu. Ale no, ciekawe jak Alan się czuje, jak się właśnie dowiedział, że... O co chodzi?
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
Robiło mi zdjęcie?
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice!
Gdzie ona krzyczała?
Alice's video camera.
Coś trzeba znaleźć.
Inside.
Nagrania, sztuka, na ekranach, wiele. Punkt centralny Leża Mroku. Wow, ona próbowała nas podszukać? Albo dowiedzieć się przynajmniej, co się stało? Część
Part
pierwsza.
one. What was Alice working on?
Okej. Zobaczmy zatem. O!
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her.
Okej. Czyli nie, że ona nas szukała, czy coś w tym stylu.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing.
A, to taka króciutka część, żebyśmy się dowiedzieli, o co chodziło z Alice i że Alana zapętliło. Okej. No, więc ona nie szukała Alana, tylko stwierdziła, że utonął, ale że zaczęło się nawiedzanie jej, to uwieczniła to. I zrobiła z tego wystawę, która akurat nazywa się Leżę Mroku. Ale wracamy, widzę, do Sagi już teraz i do agenta Casey'a. Z Alanem, który wyszedł z Leża Mroku, albo którego wypluło bardziej.
For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place. It's like New York, but it's not New York. And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people, making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes, fiction coming in contact with the Dark Place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake.
To prawda, tak było.
I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Jedyne, dlaczego to dla nich może mieć sens, to że na ich oczach chłop zniknął. I trup powstał i poszedł do jeziora.
Mr. Wake. Alan. We've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24
Dokładnie.
hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
It's insane. And there's so much of it.
No. A. Możemy sobie zapisać gierę. I możemy wejść pewnie tutaj.
Wake just gave us a lot of information.
Czy to jest kolejna sprawa?
Seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult.
To fakt. Chyba tak. Chyba mamy to jako kolejną sprawę. I... Tu mamy kolejne rzeczy. Nie, jeszcze jedną sprawę nową.
Written by Alan Wake, and the contents of this book are coming true. Why couldn't it have been a romance?
Też sobie to zawsze powtarzam. O! Dużo rzeczy się pojawiło. Dobra, wszystko znajduję to. Jak zatrzymać opowieść? Czyli mamy, że Wake musi dotrzeć do pstrykacza. Leża Mroku, że Wake był uwięziony w innym świecie. Dokładnie. Cyk. Duch mroku. Zgrzyt i duch mroku są jednoznaczne. Aha. To nie do zasad? Światło i duch mroku. Kolejne pytania. Dobra. Czyli to tutaj. Dobrze oświetlone miejsca są bezpieczne od ducha mroku i opętanych. Dokładnie. To nie tu. Duch mroku pod postacią zgrzyta zmienia opowieść. Wake'a chce obrócić świat w jebany koszmar. Czyli to? Nie. Duch mroku? Tak. Jak zatrzymać opowieść? 2 dni mają, okej.
Nope.
Co tutaj mamy? W jakiejś innej dziwnej rzeczywistości Leża Mroku łączyło się z naszym wymiarem. To miejsce Leża Mroku według strony to ten obszar nazywał się kolizją. Czyli Leża Mroku i kolizja, dokładnie. I w takim razie kolizja to, jak tam wejść, to wiemy. I to mamy jeszcze coś na później. Dobra. Wszystko tu połączone. Och, dużo tego było.
Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness, possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes.
O,
Yes. They have the clicker.
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
o, możemy zrobić profilowanie.
Said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker.
Okej.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
Mamy
Scratch
kolejne.
looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did.
Ma
Or
to
vice
sens.
versa.
Albo odwrotnie. Dobra, czyli mamy tu kolejną rzecz. Tu nie, ale za to na tropach sekty mamy pyk. I mamy też kult drzewa. Kult może składać się z wynalazków zgrzyta. W końcu mamy pstrykacz.
No.
Nie. Symbole. Nie. Cel? Ma to sens. Dobra. To na razie wszystko. Czy coś jeszcze? Tu mamy coś jeszcze, ale to jest na później. To na razie wszystko. Dobra.
Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them.
Okej. Ale od razu nam je dał, więc...
Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the cult of the tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew her weapon.
O. Czyli... Gdzie miał ją kult drzewa?
The cult of the tree has the clicker Wake told me about. They're a part of all this. It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
A w ten sposób chcecie.
You need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
Aha. Wiadro w pokoju dozorcy, tak? I tu mogę przełączyć postać. Ciekawe w sumie. Ale to chyba na razie pogramy z Sagą, skoro ostatnio graliśmy Alanem. Tak więc tutaj sobie skończymy ten odcinek, więc wielkie dzięki za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się i cześć!